The proposed high-speed rail (HSR) project between Dallas and Houston is set to bring significant changes to the transportation landscape in Texas. While the project promises faster, more efficient travel between these two major cities, it also poses a potential threat to the state's powerful oil and gas industry, a sector deeply intertwined with Texas's identity and economy. In today's video, we are going to discuss all the impacts that this HSR has. Firstly, impact on car travel and gasoline demand. Texas is renowned for its vast network of highways and a car culture that is almost emblematic of the state's spirit of independence and mobility. Currently, most travel between Dallas and Houston, a route of about 240 miles, is done by car. This mode of transportation is heavily reliant on gasoline, which directly benefits the oil and gas industry, a pillar of Texas's economy. Gas stations, service centers, and the vast network of support services tied to the automobile industry all contribute to this ecosystem, creating a significant demand for fossil fuels. The introduction of a high-speed rail could disrupt this dynamic. If the HSR becomes a popular choice for travelers, the number of people driving between these two cities could decrease. Even a modest reduction in car travel could have a ripple effect on gasoline sales, cutting into the profits of the oil and gas sector. For an industry that has thrived on the high demand for fuel, any decrease in consumption represents a potential threat to its revenue streams. Shift in energy consumption. The high-speed rail project not only presents a challenge by reducing the need for car travel, but also introduces a shift in the type of energy consumed for transportation. Traditional car travel depends on gasoline and diesel, both of which are products of the oil and gas industry. In contrast, high-speed trains run on electricity. This difference is crucial, as it means the HSR could reduce the state's reliance on fossil fuels, especially if the electricity used is generated from renewable sources such as wind or solar power. Texas, while being a leader in oil and gas production, has also made significant strides in renewable energy, particularly in wind power. The integration of renewable energy into the HSR project could further distance transportation from fossil fuel dependence. As people grow accustomed to electric-powered transportation, this could also influence a broader acceptance and adoption of electric vehicles, EVs, for personal use, which poses a long-term challenge to the gasoline demand that has long driven the oil and gas industry's profitability. Economic diversification and political influence. Texas's economy has historically been heavily reliant on oil and gas, but in recent years there has been a push toward diversification. The state has seen growth in technology, healthcare, and renewable energy sectors. The high-speed rail project fits into this broader strategy of economic diversification. By investing in alternative transportation infrastructure, Texas is laying the groundwork for a more varied and resilient economy, one that is less dependent on a single industry. This diversification could have significant political implications as well. The oil and gas industry has long held considerable sway in Texas politics, influencing legislation and public policy in its favor. However, as the state's economy diversifies, other sectors such as technology, transportation, and renewable energy may gain more political clout. This could lead to a shift in the balance of power, potentially reducing the influence of the oil and gas lobby, which has been a dominant force in the state's political landscape for decades. Environmental impact and public perception. The environmental implications of the high-speed rail project are also noteworthy. The oil and gas industry has often found itself at odds with environmental groups, especially over issues related to greenhouse gas emissions and climate change. The HSR, particularly if powered by renewable energy, aligns with the environmental goals of reducing carbon emissions and promoting sustainable development. If the HSR proves successful, it could lead to a shift in public perception toward more sustainable transportation options. This change in mindset could increase public support for renewable energy initiatives and put additional pressure on policymakers to reduce subsidies and favorable policies for the oil and gas industry. The success of the HSR could serve as a catalyst for broader environmental reforms in the state, further challenging the dominance of fossil fuels in Texas. Resistance from the oil and gas industry. Given the potential threats posed by the HSR, the oil and gas lobby is expected to resist the project vigorously. This resistance could take several forms, including lobbying efforts to delay or block the project, funding campaigns against it, or supporting legal challenges. The industry might argue that the HSR could harm the Texas economy by reducing the profitability of one of its key sectors, leading to job losses and broader economic consequences. To counter the HSR, the oil and gas industry might also push for alternative infrastructure projects that reinforce the state's reliance on fossil fuels. This could include expanding highways, promoting the use of natural gas in transportation, or supporting other fossil fuel-based transportation initiatives. The goal would be to maintain the demand for oil and gas, even as alternative transportation options become more viable. Economic and employment concerns. The oil and gas industry holds a significant position as a major employer within Texas, contributing to the state's economy by providing thousands of jobs across various regions. This industry plays a crucial role in supporting local economies and communities through its extensive employment opportunities. However, a potential reduction in the demand for gasoline and fossil fuels, which could result from the successful implementation of the high-speed rail (HSR) project, might have serious repercussions for the sector. The decrease in reliance on traditional energy sources due to the increased use of the HSR could potentially lead to job losses and economic downturns within the oil and gas industry. Recognizing these potential threats, the oil and gas industry is expected to leverage this issue prominently, using it as a central argument against the HSR project. By emphasizing the potential negative impact on employment and economic stability, the industry aims to sway public opinion and generate support for its stance against the rail project. The oil and gas lobby's strategy will likely involve portraying the HSR as a significant threat to job security and economic well-being, in an effort to counteract the project's progress and advocate for the preservation of traditional energy sectors. So to sum up, the proposed high-speed rail between Dallas and Houston represents a significant shift in Texas's transportation infrastructure. By offering a faster, more efficient alternative to car travel, the HSR threatens the oil and gas sector's dominance in the state. While resistance from the oil and gas lobby is expected, the project also holds the potential to reshape Texas's economy and environmental landscape. If successful, the HSR could signal a broader move toward sustainable, diversified economic development in Texas, reducing the oil and gas sector's influence over time. The battle between tradition and innovation is heating up in Texas, and the outcome will likely shape the state's future for decades to come. We can hope you've learned a lot of facts and figures about high-speed rail. If you enjoyed the video, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel for upcoming videos.